Hey everyone, welcome back to Death Must Die. So, yes, they finally revealed a roadmap. I haven't actually looked at this yet, so this is going to be a first impression. So, let's get straight on into it, guys. Roadmap news. It's been a while since our last post, so we wanted to communicate what we've been working on and expand on the roadmap ahead. In short, we are making sweeping changes, increasing the scope of the game, okay, to create a bigger and more cohesive experience. Environment and art. The world of Death Must Die started as an infinite plane with a few objects scattered throughout. This is missing the sense of exploration and adventure we want to bring, okay? Which is why we are developing a real environment with large open areas. Oh, okay, winding pathways, passages to secret rooms, special encounters, and expansive scenery. Okay, so I don't know. Is this going to be for every single map? Like, how does that work? I don't know. I guess maybe they'll get into it. To do all this, whoa, okay. To do all this, we are building a proper map editor, tools to procedurally generate dungeons and updating the enemy pathfinding. But most of the work is creating art assets, walls, props, and such for all Act 3, all three current acts, and the upcoming Act 4. Okay, so they are going to do it for all of the acts. That's really interesting. Okay, so this is their map editor that they've created, I guess. Gameplay. Oh, okay. This is going to be interesting. We've always imagined the game as an action roguelike plus bullet heaven plus a RPG. Mixing genres successfully is about taking the best elements and weaving them in the right proportions. Getting this formula right is key, and we spend a lot of time identifying what we are missing, what the current weak points are, and how we intend to resolve them. Action. This is a very undeserved aspect of ARPGs and action. What do they mean by undeserved? With auto attack on, the only other skill players have is dashing, which is quite limiting. We are making a new skill system where players can choose to make builds with anywhere from 1 up to 5 buttons. Oh, for this new ARPG system of spellcasting, we are making a lot of active blessings for each god, supported by new animations for every character, casting, channeling, charging up spells, etc. As an alternative to active skills, rituals, a new blessing type which opens up powerful synergies. Okay, so they're basically turning this into an ARPG. It sounds like. I mean, cool. I'm not quite sure. It's going to be a huge change, so it's going to be pretty hard to say exactly how that will sort of play out. Let's keep reading on though. I'll give overall thoughts at the end here. So play styles. The game currently has different builds, but most of them are stat based and somewhat similar. With the addition of active skills and rituals, we enable truly varied ways to play the game. Engine builds, action builds, reaction builds, 0 button AFK builds, 5 button piano builds, cheese builds, micro synergy. Okay, cheese builds? That's interesting. Micro synergies, one shot, big combo builds, passive skills, passive builds, etc. Roguelike. Currently, a lot of the builds necessitate fishing for God X or Y. This predetermines the run before it's even started, losing the variety and fun of making choices on the fly. We are overhauling the blessings, so each god offers for every type of. We overhaul their blessings, so each god has good offers for every type of playstyle. Okay, I read that wrong, and they all have ways to synergize together. We hope this will add a lot of in-run replayability alongside the out-of-run itemization and build making. Okay. Yeah, overhauling the blessings. Okay. Yeah, I mean, the way the blessings are right now, felt okay in Act 2. Act 3 just started to feel pretty bad. So I don't know. Choice and RNG. A lot of the feedback has been around a bad RNG and not being able to choose your gods. With the new level design, you will be able to choose your path in the underworld, picking the rewards that you want. That includes gods, but also special areas, shop rooms, and other various encounters. We are also adding bad RNG protection, like avoid re-rolling into the same stuff. Okay. Okay. Custom modes. We want our end game to be as flexible as possible, empowering players to lean into the playstyle they prefer. This includes the much requested infinite mode, but also an endless terrain, how levels currently work. Okay. Plus a bunch of toggleable gameplay and difficulty modifiers. We were including all of this in the Act 4 update. Okay. Next step, our schedule so far has been one major act update per year with a couple of minor updates in between. As we're in the middle of creating all the new features, reworks, overhauls, we will be skipping the minor update fixes and in favor of a huge Act 4 update somewhere in mid to late 2026. Damn. Okay. So, I mean, it's a huge overhaul, right? You do sort of expect it to take a while, but mid to late 2026, let's be fair, guys. It's probably going to be early 2027. My speculation is going to be April 2027 is when it's actually going to land. We'll see on that. That is. I love Death Must Die. That's a long wait for content, man. Okay. That being said, we will be sharing more news as the release nears and pieces start to fall in place. Additionally, for anyone interested, Ren will be discussing the design more in depth in the Steam forums and on Discord more informally. You can expect the usual Snows Watch event sometime in December. Cool. So there is going to be a December event. So that's like a little Christmas event. So that's pretty nice. Okay, that's the entire post then. What's this down here? Nothing. Okay, so overall thoughts here. This sounds like once it's done, once all these changes have entered the game is going to be very different overall. Now, they still mention that you might still be able to do the current version of the levels or whatever. So, yeah, I guess maybe they're going to be different game modes. But I think overall, it sounds like significantly more interesting and better game design in terms of the gameplay and the levels themselves. I think the levels in Act 3, they've started to feel like pretty repetitive and kind of not that interesting. You're just dashing between the nodes the entire time in Act 3, pretty much. I mean, yeah, so I don't know, overall, environment and art, yeah, having bigger levels, they're making an entire or like updating their, what do you call it, like map editor. So that's pretty cool. Gameplay stuff. So I think one of the biggest changes is going to be the action side of things. So actually having different buttons, not just having auto attacks. This I think is probably the biggest change. It sounds like it to me anyway. This is going to fundamentally change how the gameplay feels to actually play, like when your hands on the controller or on mouse and keyboard, right? So I think this is probably fundamentally the biggest change. I think the maps sound pretty interesting. Where was it? Up here. Where did it say? Okay, maybe it's down here. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So that's probably going to be one of the biggest changes there. So we'll have to see how all this stuff plays. They're saying they're going to be everything from action builds, reaction builds, 0-button builds, 5-button piano builds. I mean, we're going to have to see. So the build variety right now, there are lots of builds that you can do in the game, but a lot of them end up playing pretty similarly. So we'll have to see how it lands, I guess. But it sounds pretty good. A lot of feedback has been about the bad RNG. Yeah, so yeah, man, oof. The RNG is pretty brutal in the game right now, not only in terms of like the gods and stuff, but in terms of the actual itemization too. One thing that they didn't mention here at all is itemization changes or improvements or what they're going to do. They did sort of mention stats. They did mention the stat base. Yeah, most of them are stat base. They're talking about builds, but a lot of the stats from the builds come from really crazy like OP items or just stat stacking, right? I don't know. I mean, it sounds like some pretty good changes overall, I would say. I think once this game hits 1.0, it's probably going to be a very, very different game to how it is right now. But that's probably not going to be for like 3 years or something. That's kind of crazy to think about how long this game might actually be in early access for. I don't know. So this is the thing. A huge Act 4 update somewhere to mid to late 2026. So at the earliest, July next year. At the latest, I'm gonna say 2027. I don't expect it to be 2026. Knowing how slow they are, no offense, knowing how slow they are at doing their updates, yeah. But this stuff sounds pretty good. I mean, it sounds like fundamental core changes that will properly change the game, not just another stage with another god or whatever, right? So this is a lot bigger than I was expecting, so that's exciting. I think the gameplay changes are going to be pretty huge, and the actual map, being able to explore a bigger map with like secrets and hidden stuff, it sounds pretty good to me. I don't know. So the only negative here is just the time frame. It's going to take them a long time to get all this stuff done. So I don't know. Overall, though, I think this is sounding pretty good. Unfortunately, what it does mean is we're gonna have to wait a long time for new Death Must Die content. So I don't know. If you guys want to see some more Death Must Die on the channel, just let me know. We can play it. I'm not against playing it. After 300 hours of Act 3, I got a bit burnt out, I dare say. But it's been a while since I played, so we can jump back in. If you want to see more Death Must Die in the meantime on the channel, let me know. With that being said, guys, a lot of this sounds pretty exciting, so I am pretty keen to see where this ends up. With that being said, guys, hope you all have a fantastic, amazing day. Don't forget to drop a like and a subscribe, and I hope you all have a good one. Take it easy out there.